Good morning. I'm Julio Saenz, along with Mauricio Riveros. Today we'll meet Nancy Ortiz-Colon, who started her own tax preparation business with her family right here in Rochester.
We hope you will be inspired.
Celebrating leaders in Rochester's unique and vibrant business community. We'll meet entrepreneurs whose passion and perseverance have helped push through life's challenges. Join us as we share their stories and journeys to success. It's time to be inspired.
Nancy, thank you very much in being Be Inspired, a show that we developed to inspire our community, interview entrepreneurs, interesting people like you. So let's start learning who is Nancy Colon.
I was born in Brooklyn, started out being raised in Pennsylvania, and then came to Rochester, New York when I was about 13.
That's exciting.
And I've always been inspired working for the community, working and helping people. And it's how we were raised. I started out with, I got my associates in paralegals, my science degree. I wanted to do real estate, but I went towards law for a little bit. I went into property management for a little bit. And then I was working for a private doctor and didn't want to leave him because he was getting ready to retire. So I did 23 years with him. As I worked with him, I got learning how to do taxes on the side as well. And then my sister decided to join me. We worked under a franchise for a while. And as we lost our brother a year ago, he wanted us to be on our own, and we opened our own business by being inspired by him.
So Nancy, tell us, what's the business that you have now?
The business is personal, small business, taxes. We do big bookkeeping for small businesses. We get them started. Also, some people want to start a business and they don't know how to go about it. They don't know the do's and don'ts. So we guide them through that. There's tax ID, there's federal ID they have to get, there's sales tax they have to do. So we sit down with them and say, where are you at? This is what you need to do. We also do home and car insurance. We dab a little bit on everything. People sit down with us. If we have someone we can refer them to and they're looking for information and we have the access to know who can help them, we also do that.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. It's a lot of good things that a lot of folks need. Now, since the show is about business, but also about inspiring people, I can't think of anybody more inspirational than your late brother. Would you mind sharing with the audience a little bit about him?
My brother was a police officer for the community he was going on 22 years. He tried very hard getting into the academy. He finally got in as a police officer. He didn't just go out there and arrest people. He really tried to find out how he can help them so he didn't have to see them in that situation again. And he was always out there volunteering, trying to get kids off the street, anything he can do. His family was always also his inspiration, me and my sister, my mom. So his guidance to us was huge.
And for those who don't know, your brother was Manny Ortiz.
Yes.
Who's recognized as a true leader in the community. So thank you for sharing that. And I remember him telling me about your business.
Yes.
When you were first getting started. And so was he helping you guys at all when you guys first got started?
Oh, yes. He was so excited. He would come, he would refer, he would hand out our cards. He even came to us to do his taxes after a while. So yes, he was, this is why we did this. This is why we went on our own. We started out with another partner and that didn't work out. And so then we looked at him and we said, you know what? He said we can do it on our own. And me and my sister, we just did it. We put all our information we could together, and the little bit money we had, and here we are. We're doing it together, me and her.
That is wonderful. And what a beautiful inspiration, your brother, and be able to now run a business. One of the challenges when you start a business is be able to maintain the relationships and have repetitive clients. What's your philosophy to ensure that that is happening in your business, that you have clients that have a great experience and come back again? What's the strategy that you use to keep that clientele happy?
Well, one of the things we tell them when we meet them as a client is that we're there all year around. And whether it's their personal or their business taxes, we tell them whatever it is that you need to call us throughout the year, a concern that you have, something that, that's new in your life and you're questioning when it comes to tax season, just call us. We're there. We'll call you at any time. And I make sure that every phone call does get answered right back immediately when they do call us.
Fantastic. Now, speaking of relationships, whenever we have someone on the show that is in business with family, we always ask a little bit about what are some of the secrets to making sure that you kind of separate the two things and make it work smoothly.
Like I said, my mom raised me, my sister, my brother to be like best friends as well as siblings. So me and my sister, we've been doing this for 8 years, and we separate when it comes to business. We sit down and we talk everything out. We don't leave the table until we come to an agreement together. We don't do anything behind each other's backs. And we still have our, friendship as sisters aside of work. We actually do enjoy working together.
That is wonderful because in the end about teams and how we develop teams and how we work together with the people that are part of any company or any efforts. Now, taxes, complexity, New York State, federal. So how you are able to keep up with all the new taxes and all the things, always people in business are concerned, especially small businesses who don't have the skills and understanding what's going on in the taxes world. What are the key things that you will recommend to business people to be able to maintain a good understanding on the taxes?
Well, right now there's exams that we always have to take right before tax season starts. That's a refresher in itself for me and her. There's also courses that they offer that we're actually going to be taking one in November. We're driving to Atlanta with 11 new changes that they have this year that we're going to be learning. So we stay on top of that. The system that we have for our taxes also sends us updates as they come along, and we take time to read those.
What about as far as promoting the business? How do you get the word out and get new clients?
Right now, me and my sister, we just bought a book of business. The book of business was alone with 1,200 clients. So we didn't use advertisement because we wanted to make sure that we can handle the 1,200 clients first. We didn't want to get overwhelmed for the first year. And we did pretty well. But for the most part, handing out my business card, word of mouth with the clients that we picked up, they're telling their family, their friends. We just put a whole new business sign on the building in itself, and it lights up on Maiden Lane, and that alone, it's speaking for itself.
That's wonderful. I think what I love of your business is the creativity, working together as a family, organic growth. That's very important. You are not, taking too much, but also you are growing. So that's very important. Now, I understand that you advise new people who wants to start small businesses, who wants to start. What are the key recommendations that you will give to someone who wants to start, doesn't matter what business? What are the things that they should always be thinking when they will start a business?
Well, you should always try to remember that A lot of people go into a business thinking what they're going to make right away, and how they're going to spend it. First year around, you should never try to consider that income at all. First year should always be saved. And that's what me and my sister, we did. We went in together, putting our money in every dime we had. And don't overwhelm yourself. Only do one step at a time. When it comes to buying equipment, you do what you do with what you can to get by until you can get the next technology.
Exactly. That's very good advice. And with some of the businesses you've worked with, because you do have small businesses that are your customers and your clients. Do you see any common mistakes that they do besides some of the stuff you just talked about? Do you see any issues with them commonly that people should be careful about?
They mix their personal stuff with their business credit card. That's a no-no. The government does not like to see your business credit card to be used for your personal stuff. So we advise them that's the one thing that you don't do. But bookkeeping is another one. Yes, they don't like to do that, and they don't like to pay anybody to do it. So we try to keep it as a small amount that we charge, so we're able to help them in that part, so they can see how important it is. And we just try to keep them straight with the things that they can claim and what they can't claim. Because of course, when you go into business, everybody wants to be able to claim everything, and you can't. So we try to keep, a list of things that we, everybody need, can claim, and we give that to them and say, hey, this is what you're able to write off if you want to, And whenever they purchase something, we also always tell them, give us a call first. We'll let you know if it's something you're able to claim or if you're able to,
But thank you so much, Nancy. We'll be back with more after these messages.
How do you see the economy in Rochester? Do you think we are in the recovery, or we are down? What's your assessment? You are seeing a lot of people, how the business are looking, are they making or not? I love to ask that question because you have a lot of insights without telling us any secrets. But how do you see the economy in general in Rochester for this year?
Well, it's kind of hard because you have businesses going up, of course, you have job openings. But then you have the competition, restaurant owners. I mean, if you think about it, yes, people love to go out and eat, but what huge selection Rochester has, And so then you got some people that make it and some people that don't. So it's very hard. It's very hard, for some people out there that do want to be, chefs or a restaurant owner, whether they're going to make it or not. They really going to have some great food, to get people to keep coming, to keep going, because if people are not working either, they don't have the money to go out and eat, you're just going to be left in limbo with, empty restaurant tables. But it's hard. It's hard because in this generation, you don't find people that want to go to work.
Nancy, it's great to see that you are working with the family, you are working in advising people in business. What about community? Our community, specifically the Hispanic community, you are able to provide services in Spanish, helping people who don't speak English. So tell a little bit about that aspect of your business.
Well, of course, like I said, there's always competition out there, and I try to put out there that we have reasonable pricing in our taxes. We also speak the Spanish language. I get it out there when we're out in the community, when I'm at an event. I let the word out. But at the end, it's up to the the people, where they want to choose to go to and when to come, because I'm not going to say that there's not competition out there for us, but there is. But all we can do is keep passing the word out, and we get our clients, and once we get them, we try to treat them like family, and so we can keep them.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about how you get involved in the community. Actually, we just saw you at the Memorial Art Gallery at the
Yes.
with the mentors and the little children.
Yeah, I was just gonna say just little stuff like that, join events, and when I'm out in a crowd, I might say, hey, who does your taxes? I've gone to places to eat and I've heard people talk, and I'll say, hey, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I says, I know you have a business. I says, here's our card, come talk to us. And as I meet people, I just try to get to see, where they're at with their taxes.
That's wonderful. It's always networking, and that's so important in any business to be able to create relationships and build business, the recommendations, and be able to connect with the community is fundamental, Nancy. Now, I always ask this question to business owners, and it's hard to answer, right? It's, where do you see your business in like 3 or 5 years from now? Where do you want to see your business?
Well, I definitely want to see it triple. Me and my sister are working very hard on that aspect. We're trying to get more, how do you say it, more business-like information to help people as they come in. We want it to be like a stop and shop kind of place. That they come in, there's taxes, there's home insurance, there's car insurance, there's insurance for your businesses. We want to offer more, that when they come in, there's other services there that we can, there's also a gentleman we have that does life insurance. So when someone's sitting there and say, I haven't been able to purchase a life insurance, oh, there's a card, I got the guy for you, So we're trying to just build our clientele, but also to the point where we're not overwhelmed, but everybody's getting treated, with great customer service.
Very, very good. And when you talk about, we talked a little bit about, providing great customer service and taking care of your customers. How do you decide if, and this is good advice, I think, for any business owner who's listening, how do you decide if someone it would be a good employee for you?
How do we decide if they're a good pull for us?
No,
what do you mean?
A good employee. How do you decide?
A good employee.
How do you pick? How do you pick people to add them to your team? What kind of criteria do you look for?
Oh, well, right now it's just me and my sister, so we don't have any, any employees. So, but we would have to make sure that they know numbers, for one, because that's a big thing. And that they have great customer service. I mean, that's just the big thing in general. From the minute you answer the phone, to the minute you hang up with them, you want to make sure that that person felt comfortable, with what they asked and how you answered it. And so, but like I said, right now it's just me and her. So we haven't had to gotten to the point where we're going to need, and employees, but we will eventually. I know we will.
That is very important. Your business. I love the idea of the growth that you have for your business, the 3-year, the 5-year plan to be one-stop shop that people can get multiple services of business. I think that's a very smart idea. Yes. You wanna, just not buy or get the taxi service, but also buy insurance, buy other type of consulting services. That is wonderful. Congratulations for thinking on that. Now, my final question to you, Nancy, is one of the aspects that we always talk in the community, in the Hispanic community, is be able to influence more. Do you see more businesses that are from Hispanic people? What's the growth in the Hispanic business world? Do you see more, or you didn't really see too much growth of Hispanic businessman in our industry, or businesswoman?
I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible if you have, the urge to be a business owner. Anything can be possible. Again, it just depends where, like, how many Spanish restaurants can you really have? So it depends what it is that you're trying to open. What we're seeing more in the Hispanic community is that a lot of them are ending up with some good high positions, and that's great to see. We would love to see more business owners out there as well. But I think we're growing. I definitely think that, Rochester alone is growing in that perspective.
That is wonderful. Nancy, I really appreciate. I think this was great to do this interview. Definitely you inspire us. Your brother, the example and legacy that he has left to you and to your sister to build a business and to continue to invest. This is what is United States about, is people taking the risk, working hard, developing those great relationships, have repetitive clients and grow. So congratulations for doing that. I'm sure that in the future we will have you in our show, and you have inspired us today.
Coming up next week on Be Inspired, we'll meet a young man who has helped start a brand new mentoring program called Red and learn about the impact it's having in the community.
To watch today's episode and the complete interviews of our guests, go to rochesterfirst.com/beinspired. For more great talk with Rochester's entrepreneurs, listen to Bodette 97.1 Saturdays at 9 a.m. For Mauricio Riveros, I'm Julio Saenz. We'll see you next week on Be Inspired.